Before you decide to move on, stay with me for this moment. Not because everything feels calm, but because something inside you has been quietly asking for relief. You've been carrying more than you admit, and even resting hasn't made it lighter. Maybe you feel tired without knowing why. Maybe your heart feels heavy in ways you can't explain. This is not a coincidence. This moment reached you because your soul needs a place to stop pretending. You don't need to be strong here. You don't need answers. Just stay long enough to let yourself be seen. God, I come to you without defenses. I don't know how to organize what I'm feeling, and I don't have the energy to explain it away. All I know is that something inside me feels overwhelmed, stretched thin, and quietly breaking under the weight of trying to keep everything together. I've been functioning on the outside while struggling on the inside, smiling when I feel empty, showing up when I feel drained, telling myself I'll rest later, even though later never seems to come. I've learned how to survive, but I don't know how to slow down without feeling guilty. God, there's a sadness in me that doesn't come from one moment. It comes from accumulation, from holding back tears, from swallowing words, from choosing strength when what I really needed was care. I didn't realize how much I was carrying until I stopped long enough to feel it. Sometimes I feel emotionally fragile, like one small thing could undo me. And that scares me. I'm afraid of what happens if I stop holding everything together. Afraid that if I'm honest about how tired I am, I won't know how to put myself back together again. Father, I don't want to live in constant tension. I don't want my mind racing while my heart feels heavy. I don't want fear and self-doubt shaping how I see myself. If you are gentle, then be gentle with me now. If you are patient, then meet me in this slow, uncertain place. I feel pressure to keep going, to stay productive, to not fall behind. But inside, I feel like I'm barely keeping up with my own emotions. I question my choices. I compare my life to others. I wonder if I missed something important along the way, and in those thoughts I feel small and unsure. God, I don't need everything fixed today. I just need to know that I'm not invisible, that my struggle matters, that you see the parts of me no one else notices. I'm bringing you the weight. I don't know how to carry anymore. The fear, the exhaustion, the quiet ache I don't talk about. Right now, I choose to stop running. I choose to sit here, open and honest, even if it feels uncomfortable. I'm asking you to hold what I can't, to steady what feels unsteady, to remind me that I don't have to do this alone. And if this prayer feels like it's describing what you've been carrying in silence, like this video, and comment, I'm here. Your interaction helps this prayer reach others who need this moment of honesty too. Stay with me. There's so much more your heart is ready to release. God, as I stay here longer, more feelings begin to surface. Feelings I've been avoiding because they make me feel weak. I realize how often I silence my own pain just to keep the peace, just to not be a burden, just to prove that I can handle life on my own. But the truth is, I'm tired of handling everything alone. There's a loneliness that exists even when I'm surrounded by people, a quiet sense that no one really knows how heavy things feel inside me. I share parts of my life, but I hide the depth of my exhaustion. I've learned how to say I'm fine so convincingly that even I start to believe it, until the silence comes back. God, I feel emotionally exposed right now, like the walls I built to protect myself are starting to crack. I've spent so long being strong that I forgot what it feels like to be held. I forgot what it feels like to let myself rest without guilt, without fear of falling behind. Sometimes I replay conversations in my mind, wondering if I said too much or not enough. Sometimes I lie awake thinking about choices I made and paths I didn't take. I question whether I'm becoming who I was meant to be, or if I'm just surviving day after day, hoping something changes. Father, I carry regrets that still ache. Words I wish I had spoken. Moments I wish I could relive differently. And even though time has moved forward, those memories still visit me in quiet moments, reminding me of how human I am. I'm afraid of disappointing people, afraid of failing, afraid that if I slow down, everything I worked for will collapse. That fear keeps me tense, alert, unable to fully breathe. It feels like I'm always bracing for something to go wrong. God, I don't want fear to define my days. I don't want anxiety to dictate my decisions. I don't want to feel like rest is something I have to earn. If you invite the weary to come to you, then I'm coming exactly as I am, overthinking, exhausted, and unsure. I need reassurance that I'm not falling behind in life, that there isn't a timeline I've ruined, that growth doesn't always look like progress others can see. Sometimes growth looks like surviving another day. Sometimes it looks like choosing not to give up. Right now, I place my expectations at your feet. The ones I put on myself, the ones others placed on me, the ones I never asked for but still carry. Help me release what was never meant to be mine. If this prayer is touching something deep in you, don't ignore it. Like this video and comment something you're struggling to let go of. Your honesty might be the permission someone else needs to stop pretending too. Stay here. We're not done yet. God, the deeper I sit with you, the more I realize how much of my life has been shaped by trying to be enough. Enough for expectations, enough for approval, enough to feel safe from rejection. I learned early that being strong and capable earned praise, while being honest about pain often felt inconvenient to others. So I adapted. I became the version of myself that could endure quietly, the one who shows up even when exhausted, the one who keeps moving even when something inside is falling apart. I learned how to compartmentalize my emotions, placing them neatly out of sight, telling myself I would deal with them later. But later always seems to come at night, when everything is quiet and I can't escape my own thoughts. God, there are wounds I never properly healed. I just covered them with productivity, with distraction, with noise. I told myself I was over it, but certain words still sting. Certain memories still tighten my chest. Certain faces still bring back emotions I thought I had buried. I fear being truly seen. Because if people see the full version of me, the doubts, the fears, the moments of weakness, they might decide I'm too much. Or worse, not enough. So I carefully curate what I share, measuring my honesty, editing my pain. But here with you, there's nothing to edit. You already know the thoughts I never say out loud. You know the nights I cry silently, the moments I feel lost even when I look confident. You know how often I question my worth when no one is watching. God, I need to believe that my value isn't tied to how useful I am, how productive I am, or how strong I appear. I need to believe that I'm loved even in stillness, even in confusion, even in seasons where nothing seems to be working. Sometimes I feel ashamed for needing help, ashamed for not having everything figured out by now, ashamed that faith doesn't always feel easy. But if you meet people in their brokenness, then I don't have to hide mine from you. Teach me how to trust you with the parts of my heart I've been guarding the most, the parts that still ache, the parts that hope but are afraid to hope too much, the parts that want to believe things can change but fear disappointment. God, sit with me in this vulnerability. Don't rush me past it. Don't minimize it. Just stay with me here until my breathing slows and my heart remembers that it's safe. If this is resonating with you, don't just listen. Respond. Like this video and comment one thing you've been afraid to admit, even to yourself. You're not alone in this, even if it feels that way right now. Stay with me. there's still more coming. God, there are moments when I feel tired in a way that sleep can't fix. Not physical exhaustion, but the kind that settles into the soul. The kind that comes from carrying unanswered questions, delayed promises, and hopes that have learned to whisper instead of shout. I wonder sometimes if you see how hard I'm trying. Not in the dramatic ways, but in the quiet perseverance. In the mornings I get up even when I don't feel ready. In the smiles I offer when my heart feels heavy. In the prayers that come out broken, fragmented, unsure. I've waited longer than I thought I would. For clarity, for relief, for reassurance that I'm not walking in circles. Waiting has taught me patience, but it has also taught me doubt. Because when silence stretches on, the mind starts filling the gaps with fear. I start asking myself if I misunderstood you, if I heard wrong, if I expected too much. And slowly, disappointment tries to disguise itself as acceptance. I tell myself I'm fine, but deep down I'm grieving the version of life I thought I'd be living by now. God, there's a quiet loneliness in feeling like you're always the strong one, the listener, the encourager, the one others lean on. People assume you're okay because you rarely fall apart in public. They don't see the moments you almost do. I need you to remind me that I don't have to earn rest, that I don't have to prove anything to be worthy of your care, that my weariness doesn't disappoint you. Sometimes I'm afraid that if I stop pushing, everything will collapse, so I keep going. I keep holding it together. But I'm starting to realize that maybe surrender isn't failure. Maybe it's trust. God, teach me how to lay things down without guilt, how to release control without fear, how to trust that you're still working even when I can't see movement. Meet me in this in-between space, this place where faith feels fragile and hope feels quiet. Hold my heart steady when I can't do it myself. If you're still with me here, then maybe I don't need all the answers right now. Maybe I just need your presence to remind me I'm not walking alone. If this part spoke to something inside you, take a moment. Like this video and comment, I'm still here. Sometimes staying is the bravest thing we do. There's one more part. Don't leave yet. God, if I'm still here, it's not because I'm strong. It's because somewhere beneath the fatigue, beneath the doubt, beneath the quiet ache, there is a small flame that refuses to go out. Sometimes it flickers, sometimes it almost disappears, but it's still burning. I bring you what's left of me, not polished faith, not confident prayers, just honesty, just breath, just a heart that keeps choosing to show up, even when it doesn't feel brave. I confess that there are days I don't recognize myself anymore. Days when I wonder when I became so tired, so cautious, so careful with hope. I miss the version of me that trusted easily. But I also know this version has learned depth. It has learned compassion. It has learned how to cling. God, if you are rebuilding me, please be gentle. I've been holding fractures together with willpower for too long. I don't need everything fixed overnight. I just need to know you're not finished with me. Speak into the places I stopped talking about. Heal the disappointments I normalized. Restore the parts of my heart I quietly shut down just to survive. I release the pressure to have it all figured out. I release the timelines I secretly measure myself against. I release the fear that I'm behind, forgotten, or overlooked. If today is all I can manage, then today is enough. If my faith feels small, then let it rest in your faithfulness instead of my effort. God, thank you for staying when I questioned, for remaining close when I pulled away, for loving me not for what I produce, but for who I am becoming. I choose to trust that something is growing even